Right, we are live. Hello, welcome to my journey to the media world. There is exactly 2 hours until the massive crunch time in the Premier League, and I'm joined by Dom Phillips, a passionate Aston Villa fan, to talk about all our hopes. We've got Dom on. We've also got Ricky, who is going to come on later on in the show to give us his thoughts, who is a Watford fan, and then also we've got a video clip from Sam from the Back of the Net Bournemouth podcast. So you're in for a right treat now, and if you're on the comments. If you're in the comments, please let us know how you're feeling ahead of the game, both Villa fans, Watford fans, and Bournemouth fans. But without further ado, Dom, how are your nerve levels at the moment?
I hardly slept last night, to be honest. It's really, really kicking in. And for someone who's only 18 years of age, this trumps the playoff final. This is the most nervous it's come to cup final by a mile. It's the most nervous I've been before a game because everything, since last August, everything that since last June, since we started signing players, the whole Premier League project that Villa have built doesn't all hinge on this. I'm not saying that it's all lost if we go down, but I don't think this is the be-all and end-all if we do go down. But at the same time, I think it'd be so important for us to stay up. I think it'd give us a much stronger foundation, keep a lot more positivity at the club, and just be so massive. So massive.
Yeah, for me, like I say, I feel like this is the bigger than the playoff final. I think it's important that we we retain our Premier League status because, Aston Villa are a Premier League club. At the end of the day, I thought personally for a very long time that it was going to come down to this final game. And in a way, it has done that. But the positive is it's in our own hands after our 1-0 win against Arsenal, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. That 1-0 win against Arsenal, what would we have done without that win is the question. I think if we didn't have that win, we'd be in such a worse position than we are now. Because now, of the three sides I know we'll get into detail now when you show the table in a minute, but of Villa, Watford and Bournemouth, we're the highest positioned and we've got the easiest fixture theoretically on paper going into the last day. So the ball is completely in our court and the advantage is completely in our court. But we all know this is football. Anything can happen on the last day. Anything.
Yeah. Sarah, who takes part in our fan cam, says so nervous. Aren't we all? I think you speak on behalf of many, many Villa fans as well as opposition fans, Sarah. So I hope you're looking forward to the game. And yeah, you mentioned the Premier League table there. I think it's only right that we bring it up.
Yeah.
Dom. Now let's hope the technology works.
Here we go. Technology, here we go.
This is what we've had to get used to over lockdown period. Right, Premier League table. Share.
Boom. There we go.
Working. Right, so as you can see, our beloved Aston Villa are 17th thanks to their win against Arsenal. And I'd have to say, a couple of weeks ago, three or 4 weeks ago, that when we were 7 points adrift, that looked impossible, didn't it, Dom?
Yeah. It was before the Crystal Palace game. We were 7 points adrift going into it, and it's like, how on earth have we done that? It's 2 wins in the last 3 games and a draw, which is so big for us. And now, if you look at the table, we're even on points with Watford. We've got one better goal difference, which could be massive. Considering Watford are playing Arsenal, I'm hoping that Arsenal will be quite perturbed by their defeat to us, and they might come out to put Watford to the sword. Bournemouth 3 points behind, but only 1 behind on goal difference. All they need to do is win by 2 goals. Villa and Watford to lose, and they stay up. It's literally as close a relegation battle as I've ever seen it. The only thing that could go in our favour that I don't think is a mention of is goals scored. If the goal difference does end up being even with Watford, we have, or with Bournemouth for that matter, that theoretically we have the highest goals scored right now on paper, and that's the next tiebreaker. So as long as we put a couple past West Ham, I think we're really in the clear. But yeah, if we can put a couple past any team, to be honest.
Yeah, to be honest, I think, for majority of the season, we've struggled for goals, haven't we? And I suppose since Crystal Palace, we've been heavily reliant on the likes of Trezeguet, who have got a lot of stick at the moment. But he's come up trumps, and like we said on whenever recorded post Arsenal, he at the end of the day, if we stay up today at 6 o'clock and we're in the Premier League, he's the man that has kept us up essentially.
Yeah, if we do stay up, it's all down to Trezeguet. Even if he scores an own goal today and we win 2-1, he's still the architect. Like he's 3 goals in the past 3 games. The 2 against Palace, which won us the game that we were 7 points adrift. We have to win. We had to win that game, otherwise we would be 19th. And obviously, against Arsenal, he came up with that. Oh, it was a beautiful finish, wasn't it? Lashed into the bottom right corner. He came up with that goal, and the thing is with Trezeguet, I've given him a lot of stick, and he really at times he deserved that criticism. The abuse, not so much. Of course, no one ever deserves abuse, but he's been criticised, and that's because he's not been consistent enough. He's not been in the game. He's not been regularly beating the fullback, regularly creating chances. But he's just got a knack of turning up, hasn't he? Leicester, the back post, Liverpool, home, the 1-0. I think he just has a knack of turning up when you really need him most. And that's why I think, if we look onto team news now, he's a cert start for me.
Yeah, go on. And that brings you on nicely to team news. For me, it's fairly straightforward. The 2 people that start for me are Frederick Gilbert. His passion the other night against Arsenal was just unbelievable.
But saying that, as well.
Yeah, and to be fair, I've been relatively pleased with both fullbacks in lockdown, because I feel like Al Mohammadi has had a decent job. Done a decent job. I'm not too sure on Konza at right back though. The defence speaks for itself. Pepe Reina in goal, and the back 4 is fairly simple. Midfield, Douglas Luiz has really, really come into his own, and I'm looking forward. I'm hoping Man City don't activate the buyback clause, because I'm looking forward to seeing him next season, hopefully in a Villa shirt. John McGinn, and my mind's gone blank. Dom, help me out. Yes, that's it. Conor Hourihane. Left wing, Jack Grealish. Is this his last game in a Villa shirt, Dom?
Do you know what? I don't want to think about it. Do you know what? The survival is a lot more important than Jack Grealish, because even though Grealish would be a huge loss to our side, and we'd have to massively, massively, massively compensate in the transfer market if we lost him, we have to accept it. And we're going to have to replace him, so we're going to have to stay up. We're Aston Villa, not Jack Grealish FC. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I think we can build up. The first thing,
I love him.
Yeah, so do I. I think he's Mr. Aston Villa, isn't he? But there's going to be a time, I've said it for a long time now, there's going to be a time where there's no Jack Grealish in Aston Villa shirt. There's a couple of people on the stream. Let's bring up some of the comments, shall we? Can't say the score, but all I'm going to say, Grealish will finally get his goal today. What a send-off that will be. If it is the last game. But we don't want to think about that, like we say. Lydia Law, hello, Lydia. Hope you're well. Leave your score prediction. I know you're a Manchester City fan, but you helped us out the other night. So what are your score predictions, Lydia?
Thank you very much for that.
Welford TV, very enjoying every single moment at the moment, as they are Premier League champions, Liverpool fan. Leave your thoughts down below, Finn, on what the score prediction is going to be today and who are going to be staying in the Premier League. But yeah, the team will speak for itself. The only people we haven't talked about is Trezeguet and Samatta. Is Samatta starting or Davies starting for you?
Davies came on, and I thought he really helped against Arsenal. I think I mentioned it before, but one of the things that I've been very critical of in regards to Smith has been his game management and not making subs at the right time to sort of close out a game and change the dynamic towards the end. Like bringing on Keane towards the end allowed a more physical presence, and I just think going up against West Ham, I don't see what Samatta offers that Davies doesn't, to be honest. Samatta doesn't contribute anything. He hasn't had a shot on target in Project. I think he's had 1 shot on target in Project. He's not even less than that. He's been abhorrent. Headers are getting skied all the time, and he doesn't really add anything to the game. At least with Keenan, the ball will stick. At least with Keenan, he'll be able to bring others into the game a lot better. And at least with Keenan, I just feel like surely he's got to break his duck eventually. Surely, I think he's going to score today. I really do.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you with what parts of Davies is saying. I think, that when he missed that chance the other day, it was, so was I, and I thought he was going to go the other way. But thankfully, we've given ourselves a fighting chance today against West Ham. And Trezeguet, his performances in the last 2 games, 3 or 4 games have, earned him that place. Hello to Nazar. I hope Villa stay up nowhere near a championship scene. Score prediction 1-0 to Villa. I will happily take that. And I agree with you. We're not a championship team. Up the Villa, says Welford TV. Up the Villa, mate. Indeed. I rate Samatta. Might not have scored, but he looks good. Samatta. What are your thoughts, Dom? For me, he struggled post lockdown. I thought he was decent when he first came in, but has struggled in recent times.
I think when he first came in, he sort of was off the Duck of Belgium, where he was the top scorer when he was doing really well, and he came in on a high, and he came in and looked really good. But since lockdown, not playing for a while, not scoring for a while, being quite honest, in this new place, he'd only just joined the club in January. Let's be honest, right at the end as well. I feel like it's just had a really bad impact on him. When I watch him play now, he's a shadow of the player he was. He doesn't offer anything on the pitch. There's a good player in there, but it's just he's short of confidence. I think he has no confidence, and I don't think any of our strikers have confidence. But I think with Keenan, you're guaranteed at least a bit of physicality, at least a bit of hold-up play, at least a bit of link-up play. And I think he's really good at offering that. And I just think Samatta isn't the safe bet in that regard.
Yeah, I mean, I rate Davis with aspects of the game. Don't get me wrong, I don't think he's a player that's going to score you 15 goals a season, but he brings in other players into the game, and he's always done that. And if you think about where he's come from, playing at, was it Stevenage or Biggleswade, playing in the Premier League?
Biggleswade.
That's a great opportunity. A couple of questions here. Hi, mate. Hi, Sports. I hope you're doing well. Score predictions, let us know. Of course, you'll know Reina very well, Finn, as a Liverpool fan. He said, thoughts on Reina? Crap when he was first came, but since lockdown, he's been decent. Yeah, totally agree with you there. I think since he made that mistake against Leicester, I mean, I think he's been pretty decent.
I mean, even against Watford though, do you remember he had that chance where like the ball came to him and he palmed it out to Deeney, and then he saved off Deeney, and then he palmed it off the line and it bounced and it cleared. Like, he's not a reliable goalkeeper at all. I prefer Tom Heaton by miles. He's not very strong, he's not very equivocal, but since lockdown I feel like he's fitter, he's more confident, he's trusts the defenders a lot more as well, has a lot clearer channels of communication with them. So I think he's a lot better. You know, he's not going to be here next season. You know, it is Pepe Reina's last game in Villa shirt, so we have to remember that. And you know, he's done a good service. He come in and put a shift in when, you know, we got Jed Steer injured, or Ian Nyland, who whenever he plays in the cup looks like God's gift to goalkeepers, but then whenever he starts in the league just looks useless. So, you know, he's come in and done a job where no one else could. So fair play to him. Massive leader as well.
Yeah, definitely. Pride of the Villa, again, one of our contributors to the fan cams. Regardless of our position next season, who is the first target of the transfer window? I say striker that can score goals.
Winger.
Okay, fair enough.
I'd say winger. Because I feel like if we do actually somehow roll the dice and Samatta somehow succeeds, or Wesley somehow succeeds, then at least there's something there. But on the width, I see nothing. Especially if Grealish goes, we have nothing out wide. I mean, if Jack goes, we'll have El Ghazi, Trezeguet, and Jota. Like, the first priority is a win. 2, 3 years.
Hello, Sophie. You're a Wolves fan, so I'm surprised you're in this stream. Leave your score predictions down below. We're very familiar with Wolves, aren't we, Dom?
We are, from where we're from. Very close to each other.
Watford TV, mate. Your mate Jude is very negative. I'll let you answer that one, Dom.
I'm very negative. I am very negative. But you know what? I'm negative, but I'm also reasonable. There's nothing I want more than to succeed. So we've all got the same negative, but fans.
Negative. Yeah, negative but realistic in my opinion, Dom.
Exactly.
Right. I'm going to bring up the Premier League table one more time. And if the technology works, there we go. We're going to get the comment off Welford. Sorry, mate. And so, like we say, Villa are 17th, 34 points. Goal difference of minus 26, which have gone up, of course, due to our one goal against Arsenal. And it's very tight down there. And now the team below us, one of our relegation rivals, is Watford. They sit in 18th place on minus 27 goal difference and 34 points. Now, a person that's been waiting very patiently in the waiting room is Ricky from the 1881 club. And to give us a little bit more insight on Watford and what's going to happen today, I'm going to bring in Ricky into the stream.
Hello, Ron. How are you?
Hi, mate. I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Right, Ricky.
Not bad. How are you, Dom?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, mate. Well,
good.
Good. I'm lying when I say I'm good. Absolutely wrecking it.
Yeah, as am I, mate.
We've got the Premier League table up here, Ricky. And first of all, I want to ask you, if Villa fans think they've had a bad season, then you want to talk to a Watford fan, because, I mean, you've had a turnaround of managers. Hayden Mullins is now in charge. Nigel Pearson was sacked with 2 games to go. What's the emotion amongst Watford fans at the moment right now?
Yeah, well, I mean, at first it was sort of more shock than anything. I was sitting watching. I can't remember which game was on, but I was just, sitting watching it, and then all of a sudden I get a notification that Nigel Pearson's been sacked. And to be honest, at first I didn't believe it. I didn't. It was my understanding that there was no sort of reason as to why he would, warrant being sacked at the time. We obviously later found out that it was, due to, all these rumours came out that, he'd punched Messina or in the dressing room at halftime against West Ham, and apparently locked the team in the dressing room after the game and didn't let the owner in, and all that. And yeah, so I think he was just getting into a row with the owners as well. And I think, there's loads of sort of stories that have come out, but the main thing is that there was a row, and I think that's why he got the sack. I mean, like I say, it was more shock than anything, especially considering the position we were in when he came in to Watford. We were, God knows, I think 7 points adrift of safety, right? Like rock. Yeah, we were dead and buried at that point at the bottom of the league. And he's given us this opportunity to keep ourselves safe. Now, obviously, Arsenal away from home last day of the season is not the last game you really want when you're in this position. But if it wasn't for Nigel Pearson, we could be very well like in a Norwich sort of position where we're already down. We know we're down. We've got one last chance, and this is what I've been saying, on Twitter, on my channel and stuff. I was saying, listen, forget everything that's happened this season. Forget it all. None of it matters now. All that matters, we have one more game, one more 90 minutes to try and save Watford from going down, and we have to take that chance, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
It's the same with
Yeah.
We've had a whole season that's so mixed. We've had like problems with the transfer window and everything, and we've had instability. Like, should the manager go? Should this person go? A lot of finger pointing, and it's got quite toxic at times, as it does when you're in relegation scrap. But at the end of the day, this is what football is all about. We've seen it with like Barnsley surviving, Charlton going down. Anything can happen on the last day. Yeah,
it is one of those. It's, West Ham are in good form. They beat us. They're not doing too badly. I mean, well, so is basically everyone, apart from Liverpool at our place. But that's sort of the one thing I'm clinging on to this season. But no, yeah, exactly. Yeah, West Ham are in good form. I don't think it's going to be easy for Villa. And, you guys will be, well, it's in your hands. So, you just need to focus on getting, your part of the job done now. Just don't make any mistakes, and you should see it through. But I mean, that's easier said than done. But from Watford's point of view, we really have to bring the game to Arsenal. We can't afford to sit back and try and hit them on the break, because we don't have the quality of players to sit back and try and defend. We can't defend. That's the problem. So there's no point. Yeah, I just think I'm absolutely so nervous right now.
You say it's in Villa's hands there. I mean, we'll bring up the Premier League table once again. Obviously, you face, well, we haven't even mentioned who you face, but I think it's fairly obvious. You face Arsenal, and an up and down Arsenal at the moment. And yeah, talk to me about the Arsenal game. I mean, you don't know what Arsenal are going to turn up. I'm hoping the one that, as from a Villa fan's point of view, I'm hoping the one turned up against Manchester City in the FA Cup.
Yeah, well, I definitely hope not. No, you lot did well against them to get that win, and we lost 4-0. Oh, it was painful. It was painful to watch, but we just lost 4-0 to Man City, and I thought, okay, well, come on, Arsenal, now do us a favour. I was expecting Arsenal to get a win, if not at the very least get a point against you. And then for you guys to go on and win it, it was an awful day. And yeah, it's one of those, you don't really know which Arsenal's going to turn up. Obviously, they've got an FA Cup final to think about next week. I have a feeling that's going to be at the back of their minds. Whether Mikel Arteta wants to admit it or not, I think it's always one of those things that you're thinking about. And he has said that he's going to play a full strength side. How full strength, I'm not sure. But to be fair, even if it's not their full strength side, I think they have some really decent players. And we have to be very, very cautious, because they do have players that can hurt us and cause us problems, especially with, the amount of mistakes that we've made this season. We can't afford for that to happen today. We have to be on our toes and be alert for the whole 90 minutes.
Yeah, of course. Looking at the Premier League table now, it's obviously up there. It's very tight down there. Looking at the different options that could happen, Ricky, do you see it? Do you see any way that Watford finish 17th come 6 o'clock?
I'd like to be optimistic. I'd like to say, if we can, like I say, West Ham are in good form. So if they can nick a result, nick a win against you, and we can sneak a draw against Arsenal. It's possible. And you never know. You guys beat Arsenal. I don't see why we can't. It's just one of those things. The thing with Watford is we've had glimpses where we show up and we're like, wow, we can actually play football. This is amazing. But then you also get, situations and games where you're just like, you wouldn't even know that we're in the Premier League if you didn't know football. And maybe that's why we deserve to go down. Do you know what, though? I was saying, if we were to go down this season, I wouldn't say it's undeserved. I genuinely wouldn't. We haven't been great. And it's going to sound like an excuse. Yeah, and it's going to sound like an excuse, but I'm not saying that Watford aren't bad because we have been poor this season, but VAR hasn't helped us. We've had so many occasions over the course of the season where decisions haven't gone our way. When we lost to Southampton away from home, we were 1-0 up, we lost 2-1. VAR came out and apologised for I think it was their first goal. There was a handball that they apologised because they missed. Dele Alli, we should have had a penalty against Tottenham at their place. And Dele Alli handballed it in their goal. So that's just two examples I can think of the top of my head. We've had loads of those. And I don't want to make it as an excuse because I'm not denying the fact that we're not very good. But yeah, it's just one of those things that it just doesn't help.
Yeah, that's
Dom, is there
VAR, how much it affects the relegation race? I mean, if you look at Brighton, they were like plus 6 points on the VAR chart. They did I think it was a couple of weeks ago. They did like a league table of like where it would be with the VAR or without VAR, and it was like Brighton was like plus 6, Man United was plus 12, Brighton was second. Of course, Man United were plus 12. But then, like, Wolves, Villa, and Watford were three of the worst teams affected by VAR. Like, I think we would have been like 16th. You were probably like 17th or maybe even 15th. I don't know. Like, VAR has just had such an impact on the final day, on the the relegation race up to now. And I hate to say it, could it have an effect today? Because I would not rule out the possibility of VAR sending a team down today. It actually
don't even mention it,
could
Dom.
happen. I just spoke it into existence, haven't I?
Yeah, no, it's just always like Arsenal. Like, I'm really salty. I'm not even going to deny the fact that I'm salty because we had a game. I think it was last season. Oh, actually, it might have been. No, actually, I think it was last season when we played Arsenal at our place, and Troy Deeney got sent off for an apparent elbow on Torreira, and literally the only reason he got sent off for an elbow was because as he was sort of brushing past to run past Torreira's so short that his elbow was just in line, like he didn't swing at him or anything, and it's what I'm just really salty. I just feel like the referees always have Arsenal's back, but it's really frustrating. I'm just very scared that something like that might happen, and it's going to be so costly because it's not just Premier League status; it's the money that comes with it. Watford have already agreed a loan with Barclays. For if we were to go and get relegated, so there's so many other things. Yeah, there's so many other things that affect it. It's not just we're in the Championship now. There's players leaving, financial problems, all these things that you got to think about.
Yeah, and you're not the only team that thinks like that because as Villa fans, we've got a lot of high-profile players that I know would leave. Very finally, Ricky, I want to get an all-important score prediction and the position Watford will be come 6:00 tonight.
I mean, I feel like it'd be wrong if I predicted us to get relegated. So I'm going to say Watford are going to draw 1-1. You guys will lose 2-1, and we'll stay up.
I don't want to hear that. That's not what I want to hear.
It's weird, isn't it? It's like we're two sides before war. We're having like a little conversation.
It's weird.
Then we'll go back to camp and we'll just it's so weird. It's before the storm. Because realistically, of the three people in here, at least one of us is going to be extremely upset in the next 2 hours, and the other one or two is going to be really ecstatic. So it's like,
it's
so
one of those weird ones.
I'm getting more nervous by the minute.
Yeah, it's sort of I don't know if during World War II when on Christmas they just stopped fighting and started playing football. It's like that. We've just stopped fighting.
But it's like the end of Christmas Day when we actually go back to war.
Yeah, literally.
We'll see you soon.
Well, that was a good game, mate. Good game. Right, we'll see you in a bit.
Yeah, right. Thank you so much, Ricky. Like we say, I might be messing you after the match. Who knows? But yeah, thank you, and up the Villa.
Up the horns, up the horns. Thank you, guys. Up the horns.
Cheers, Ricky.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Cheers, mate.
Now, that was a laugh, wasn't it? Good laugh. We are now going to bring up. Well, here's the Premier League table once again. This is the final time you'll see it. And as you can see, in 19th position, Norwich are already gone, but in 19th position is in 19th position. I don't know what I'm trying to do here. There we go. In 19th position is Bournemouth. And to tell us about that is Sam from the Back of the Net Bournemouth podcast. I mean, they've been up and down this season, haven't they, Don? And if you look again at the goal difference, same as Watford, minus 27, but they're on 31 points. So, I mean, anything can happen. It's survival Sunday. But
if I was like, if you asked me now, would you rather, if Villa went down, would you rather Bournemouth or Watford stay up? I'd rather Watford, because I couldn't cope with the fact that if Bournemouth said we gave them 6 points this season, we gave Bournemouth 6 points this season. That 6 points could, I mean, if they were that 6 points, they'd be down. Like, and we'd be safe. We'd be safe.
Yeah. That just really, even if we won against Everton, you know, I don't know. We don't even think about that, do we?
We need to stop.
There's a couple of comments on here I want to get some on. Sophie, I can tell you're a Wolves fan. Villa are probably going to lose 6-0 because it's Villa. I'm all for the Wolves. Well,
best
look,
of luck in the Champions League, Sophie. I know that went well, didn't it?
Well, you've got very strong opinions on Johnny Otto, haven't you? But anyway, look at it on the bright side, Sophie. If you look at it on the bright side, Sophie, sure you want 3 Midlands teams in the Premier League next season for a derby day? That's a bright side, surely.
Black Country Derby next season.
Yeah. This is absolutely the worst day, the worst in the playoff final against Derby. 100% agree. Change the tune a little bit now, Soph. In all seriousness, though, I hope Villa stay up despite being a Wolves fan, because we're going to have some cracking derbies next season. If you do,
I apologise. I just came we'll take it ago. No, you're being nice. So I'm going to take it back. I'm very sorry.
We'll take it back. Joe Aston, up the Villa. I'll see you very soon this afternoon. Hopefully, we'll be celebrating. Goal difference is going to be crucial. At least Villa are higher with goals scored. If goals difference is the same, what's your setup going to be like? Of course, you're going out, but I'll have Bournemouth on, Watford, and Villa on the big main screen.
I'm sadly going to be busy during most of the game, which is like an absolute nightmare for me. I've set up flash scores. I'm ready to rock and roll. But when I get back, I'm going to have my PC with the Villa game on, my laptop with the Watford game on, and my phone with the Bournemouth game on. I'm going to sit there like Dr. X, just like watching.
Right. Very finally, we're going to get Sam's video on, and he's going to tell you all about Bournemouth. This is a screen of a video editor. There we go. Here's Sam. So this is Sam, and he's going to talk to you all about Bournemouth.
We can't hear it, Jude.
Can you hear it?
No, there's no. I just said there's no sound. There's no sound. It was in the test earlier. It was playing sound.
I know it's really playing weird. Perfectly. In the comments, someone put in the comments if you could hear that, just please. Yeah, I see.
It was different on my end, but is it?
Is it because I'm using my AirPod? Because I weren't using my AirPod yesterday.
I don't know. It was working earlier. I'll just try it again with the full screen thing.
To beat the Toffees. However,
can hear him now.
You can hear him.
I just can't see it happening, sadly. Project Restart for us has been a disaster, and it served as a microcosm for the season as a whole. We found it really difficult to break down the teams with a low defensive block. We did all right against the teams that want to come out and attack. So that's the only crumb of comfort we've got ahead of playing Everton today. But the fact is, we simply don't deserve it. We've been poor in an attacking sense for much of the season.
Okay, no one can hear it.
We've been playing this rigid 4-4-2 formation.
We can hear.
We've been putting square pegs into round holes for much of the season, and we've got our just desserts. Historically, Eddie Howe's managed to pull us out of numerous situations in the past, and obviously, what he's done at the club, he is an absolute legend. And the word legend isn't really befitting enough of the man. But this season, I think he's come unstuck. And you look at him at the moment, and he looks knackered. He looks shattered. He definitely needs a break. Sometimes I think that being pivotal and integral to the club like he is a good thing because you know everything that's going on. But in the same breath, it's also bad because you're taking on the mental burden of everything that goes on. He's probably even going to be worrying about the livelihood of the guy in the club shop that stocks the shelves. You know, that's the kind of conscience of the man. And I say he in his press conferences he just comes across like he needs a long holiday. I think for me, sometimes when I'm consumed in my work, the stress levels are really high, and I end up, performing relatively poorly. And I think that's probably what's happened with him. With no external influence that Eddie's got, I mean, all of his coaches are his mates, basically. I think that he has been consumed in his own bubble somewhat, and there have been some situations where he's made knee-jerk decisions which I think are wrong. We've got this sort of gung-ho brand of football sometimes, and this season it's come unstuck, and it'll probably come unstuck again today. Now, what am I hoping for today? Well, obviously, I'm hoping that Arsenal will be angry after their loss at Villa, and with the whole, Cojones or Co-Jones, or however you pronounce it, comment from Troy Deeney, that will possibly get them fired up, and I actually expect Arsenal to win that. Problem is, Villa at West Ham, nothing to play for. If they win the game, it doesn't put them up the league table. Therefore, the prize money doesn't get altered whatsoever. And Villa are going to be playing like a team possessed. Now, my only hope is that maybe Watford score first or something. And then that means that Villa have to leave gaps. And then maybe they can be exploited. But the thing is, of all the hopes that I've got in terms of I think that's going to happen, right through to I think that's not going to happen, Bournemouth is my biggest worry. We can talk about the other two matches as much as possible, but we've got to win a football match. And at the moment, aside from that Leicester result, which, to be fair, was gifted to us by Schmeichel, and, some other decisions, sending off, etc., a couple of deflections here and then, we haven't really shown that true performance. And if this is the last performance in the Premier League, well, I'm going to be absolutely gutted. But most Bournemouth fans are resigned to the fact that we're going down. I'm actually looking forward to playing in the Championship now. I think that, relegation for us will have happened in a season where, this isn't an excuse because we've been poor, but all integrity's been lost. We play away at Spurs in front of a crowd of 60,000 people, and then we play them at home in front of 300. And no, that's not our capacity. That was during the lockdown. All clubs have had it similar. But not all clubs rely on the fans as much as we do. For a club that's been punching above its weight in the Premier League for so long, the fans are a huge factor. Due to our location, we weren't even allowed to play a friendly because you had to play a team that's less than 90 minutes away. And with Southampton booked up, we couldn't have any friendlies before Project Restart. So we were playing like inter-squad matches, which obviously, you could see how much we were lacking in those first 4 games. The drinks breaks taking up time. I mean, you look at it and think, how on earth did we agree to this? Well, it's obviously money, isn't it, the Premier League? And voiding the season would have relegated us. We had no excuse but to play on. The season had to restart. And, money dictates everything. I mean, it dictated a few seasons ago. Bournemouth fans were waking up at 3 a.m. for a 12 noon kickoff at Huddersfield. If football fans are bleating on about Liverpool's title season being tainted with a huge asterisk, then I think Bournemouth's relegation, you can put that there as well. I think any other season, it probably wouldn't have happened. But the fact is we have been poor on the pitch. And I think Villa are probably best placed to get out of the mire and put in a shift against West Ham and ultimately stay in the Premier League. And they deserve it. Their fans are brilliant. Watford, I do feel a little bit sorry for them. But, for once, their sort of hire and fire way of doing things hasn't worked for them. So if there was going to be a team that wasn't us that I would like to stay in the Premier League, I would like it to be Villa. And isn't it funny? The 3 teams that get promoted in 2015 are the 3 teams that I think are probably likely to get relegated this season. Bournemouth, Norwich and Watford. It's funny how football works. But anyway, whatever happens, hopefully it's going to be an exciting one. It's not going to quite have the same buzz with the crowd hearing results and chanting and all that kind of ebbing and flowing of the decibel levels, but I'm sure it's going to be exciting all the same. And just looking for.
And that is all that he's sent me.
There you go.
That is all that he has sent me, Sam. Thank you so much for that, Sam. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here with us live, but that was a very insightful clip, I have to say, from the Bournemouth fan, and brought up some brilliant points.
Yeah, I did. I mean, we've known for the whole time that Bournemouth have been quite dysfunctional. Their whole attacking football, don't sign many players. I mean, there's still got people like Simon Francis on the books. I'm sure was there when they were in League One. Sign minimal players, but sign expensive players. But their recruitment's been poor as well. They've signed people like Jordan Ibe, Dominic Solanke, who haven't really worked out. And it's just, they haven't strengthened the squad enough over a number of years. They haven't improved the coaching team. They haven't developed as a club. They haven't grown. They've just sort of tried to punch above their weight for so long. And when you do that, eventually, if you try and punch above, someone's just going to catch you. And this year they've been caught. I think his point about how it's been if there was any season to get caught by something unlucky, something outside of your control as well, I feel like this was the season. But I think it's a combination of the 2019-20 season being a mental football season in a vast variety of ways, as well as Bournemouth's own failings as a club, from people like Eddie Howe, the playing staff and the recruitment staff, the owners and everything. I think it's just led to a team that have really, for 90% of the season, not looked like a Premier League team. Besides, when they took 6 points off Villa, which I'm still angry about that. I'll be angry about that always.
Yeah, I thought as well he made a good point where he said that he hoped that Watford score, and that means that Villa had to go all out. I mean, since lockdown we've defended fairly well, I'd say. And against Arsenal, we were very hard to break down. But if that is the case, and it gets to the players' ears that Watford are winning, let's say let's say 0-0 at half time, for example, and second half, we have to go all out. West Ham have got some pretty decent players, like Felipe Anderson, Mikel Antonio. Could that play into the factor?
I mean, Villa have never been a side to go all out this season. I don't think. I mean, especially with some of our recent games where we've been
I find that strange.
Like goals. We don't just. I know it is very strange. We don't go high intensity. We don't chuck the kitchen sink at it. We just play the same gradual build-up football, or as I like to call what we sometimes do, American football, which is get the ball, hoof it, win a free kick, and get as closer to the goal as you. It's like they're winning, like they're gaining yards in American football. It's like that's what I feel like we do. We gain territory close. Then
I feel like we score. I feel like we get to the centre spot, and then we're like, oh, what do we do here? Then we pass it backwards.
Stop. Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't know what to do in the attacking third, I don't think.
No, but I mean, one positive was against Arsenal. We were. I thought we continued to attack, which we never saw all season, and it's sort of typical Villa, isn't it? Oh, there's 2 games to go now. Why don't we just go all out and keep attacking like we should have done for the majority of the season? And if that was the case, I don't think my nerves would be as high as they are now.
No. But at the same time, against Arsenal, we didn't go out and play gung ho. We sort of found we've struggled so hard this season between playing the attacking football we want to play and playing defensive football so we don't concede. We've always gone too far the one way in the wrong scenario, and that comes down to Smith's game management as a manager, if I'm being honest. But I thought Arsenal, we found the perfect balance. We defended so well; they didn't have a single shot on target, and we battled really hard. But at the same time, we still looked a threat on the break. And we need to make sure that we have that against West Ham. But against West Ham, why can't we put in a performance like we did against Crystal Palace, who, yes, are in poor form, but are a better side on paper than West Ham, who, I mean, defensively, it's poor. I think their midfield is quite weak outside of Susek and Rice, who's quite inconsistent in my view. They've got a few decent players, but so have we. They're safe. Yeah. They're better than us. They've survived the Premier League. And we've just got to hope that people like Mikel Antonio, who's in scary form, are just at the beach. I hope they are.
Yeah.
But, knowing Karen Brady, David Gold, and David Sullivan will probably promise them wage hike or something if they relegate the Villa. So we'll probably get 3.
A good mate of mine, Dom Phillips. He's one of our own. A good mate of yours.
In. Liam.
No, Liam, you come at the right time because
subscribe to the Total Villain.
Subscribe to the Total Villain. Yeah, you come at the right time because I'm about to rattle every single Villa fan's brains right now because I'm gonna put a very confusing picture on the screen?
So even I don't know about this. In any rehearsal that
I ain't told you about this, Dom.
I have no idea about this. For the record, I had nothing to do with this, so it's just gonna distance myself from it. I'm quite panic now because I'm really bewildered as to what you put up here, mate. Oh God. Oh, it's the flow chart. Yes, the mighty flow chart. Oh,
now,
it's too complicated for my brain because it's maths, but
make what you want of that, Villa fans, football fans, but leave your thoughts down below. I'm trying to get this banner off.
Blue lines go to survival and black lines go to relegation. Yeah, there you go. Blue survival and black relegation.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's how tight it is. I mean, I can't look at that without. I mean, my brain's already on fire. But that just shows how tight it is. Dom, we've been on for about 40 minutes now discussing all possible outcomes. But this is the most important outcome, Dom. What is your score prediction and the position that Aston Villa will be at 6 o'clock tonight?
Jack Grealish and Kieran Davis are going to score today and we're going to win 2-0. We're going to win 2-0. It's happening.
You heard it first.
I've got it in my head. It's happening. 2-0, Grealish and Davis. Trust me. Please. Please. I'm just having a quick pray.
I am going to go with, I'm looking at the chart and it does not fill me with confidence, but I'm going to forget about that because the Villa fans and the football fans watching this stream are really enjoying it, I'm hoping, watching all of the different outcomes. But I'm going to go with a 2-0 win.
Yes.
I'm going to go 2-0 win, and I am going to go with Trezeguet to score a goal and Super Jack to get his wonderful send-off if it is his final game in a Villa shirt. Dom, it's been a pleasure to do this with you. I hope you've all enjoyed it. One final thing, every single person in the stream now, put your score predictions for every single game or just a Villa game. Let me know. Total Villain, 1-1. 1-1. That's 1-1. I can't deal with that.
I'll take a few years off my life, that will. I really feel like I'm losing years of my life today with all the stress.
Joe says 2-1 the Villa. That's right. Aston by surname, and Aston Villa will be in the Premier League next season. Sarah, up the Villa. Hope you enjoy the match, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts on the fan cams. But yeah, I've been Jude Aston. You've been Dom Phillips, Dom, and hopefully I'll be speaking to you maybe next time 1 week. And Villa maybe in the Premier League still. But they keep on coming. Bournemouth win, Watford draw, Villa stay up on goal difference, Grealish to score, up the Villa. I'm not sure about the Villa draw, but I like the last bit, the Villa stay up. So up the Villa, and hopefully we are all cheering at 6 o'clock tonight. And commiserations to Watford and Bournemouth and Norwich. But yeah, till next time, goodbye. Subscribe if you're brand new. There'll be a lot more content out despite football finishing. I'm trying to get as many interviews as possible. Pleasure to have Dom on. I'm sure he'd be more than happy to come on the channel again. And, you know, I'm happy to do as much work as possible with you, Dom.
Great. Likewise.
Super Red Fan 15. I hope Aston Villa stay up. Thank you, mate. Don't we all? Until next time, enough of me waffling. Enough of me waffling. Up the Villa.
Up the Villa.